This is the final part of a 3-part series. The other 2 videos can be found in the description below.
Someone's...
So yeah, Ollie's campaign can't be done naked, which fucking sucks. I've never thought in my life I would have a game tell me that I can't be naked. But I'm not gonna let that discourage me, because Ollie is the most hated, so it doesn't really change much from a normal playthrough, and I could still do the no weapons challenge. That starting clip was 7 months prior to this actual playthrough, so I had to take 5 minutes to relearn everything that I forgot. To make things even worse, we are immediately thrown into a battle with 3 people, and I only have 30 seconds to take them all out and defuse a bomb. I panicked, threw a blue Molotov too late, and decided to have a nice conversation and hug the bomb. That did not work out well. When I respawned, though, I was given a whole minute, and I was a little bit more strategical and burned all of them with a single Molotov and took out the bomb pretty easily. I think it was really nice of them to give you 3 blue Molotovs at the start of this campaign, because I had to use every single one of them. I foolishly didn't wait for them to burn to death before getting on the lift, and I had to wait to get to the bottom before I could move or even heal myself. There was another area with a few more enemies and another bomb, and I was starting to get a little bit worried that I won't be able to make it through this section. There wasn't a single healing item that I could find, and the only one that I was given was the one where I got the first text box that says that you can heal. After barely making it out alive, Ollie then died just from a slight fall and breaking his ankles. And then the game bugged. I was back at the top, the lift wouldn't come back up, and the bomb was about to go off on the first floor, so I had to break Ollie's ankles in a way more severe way. I repeated my strategy of just burning them and running to the bomb, and I realized that I have another blue Molotov because the 3 idiots in the lift didn't show up. After falling down that hole, I was relieved to find some healing items downstairs. I also missed this med kit, but that doesn't really matter. I had to get back up the lift, and there was a lot of them that I had to juke. I grabbed every last thing that I could find upstairs, and then jumped off the building because the little girl in my head told me to. Ollie looked back at his home being destroyed, and I just had to wonder, why the fuck did we defuse the first couple of bombs if we were just gonna let it explode anyway? After touching down, I used all of my skill points, and they give you a ludicrous amount per mission, for some reason. Then I got a brief tutorial on why Ollie sucks. His blood sugars have to be kept stable, everyone hates him, and he's extremely slow. Before continuing with the story, I unlocked a fast travel point, and this will be very important for later. I decided to still keep off every other piece of clothing and just keep on the shirt because that was the only thing that I really necessarily needed on. I decided to make this challenge a little bit more challenging by not taking any more detours and just going from mission marker to mission marker. The game decided to reward me on this decision by literally leaving 2 bigger bangers on the table where I need to go. After taking out everyone that was guarding this random-ass army veteran for no apparent reason, it was time to go back to my old camp. I'm going to specify now, because I didn't earlier, that when I mean no more detours, I mean literally just going like 7 houses down for a single thing instead of just opening a single door just to get a few items. Had to take out a few plague wastrels to get to the distillery, and I found out that Ollie actually does decent damage with his fists. Not the best damage, but it's still decent. I had to help out an old friend with some zombies, and I tried to be as careful as possible not to kill him with them. Now it's time to sneak over to General Bing's office, and of course by sneak, I mean just run through and let the cutscenes de-aggro everyone for you. We then get a very nice cutscene that I'll just watch later, and I just like to show off how many perks I got even though I finished only 3 missions. We then talk to a Bobby that's too lazy to check on his friends, so he sends an old, fat, unarmed man to do it for him. We find them all dead, and we have to pick up every single gas mask, even though we should know by examining just one of them that they have been sabotaged. We get to learn of another mechanic that Ollie vomits whenever he takes joy, and this could have been completely avoided if I went down a single path in the skill tree. And people with red hats hate Ollie, which doesn't really change anything because I ran through every area and everyone hated me whenever they saw me. Now it was time to get into Miss Bing's house, which is really fucking annoying because all the bobbies immediately get aggroed to you and you can't get in unless you're out of combat. I got lucky after 4 minutes of attempts. Now this whole entire section is just the exact same as a normal playthrough and I'm going to be skipping it, but I'm going to bring up one thing that I thought would be notable. I will be only wearing the maid outfit for the rest of the game. I forgot I did this. I went up to greet one of the bobbies by punching him in the face, and it went just as poorly as you would expect if you punched a cop in the face. I went to move his body, and then I forgot another bobby shows up, and I just tried to play it cool, and I'll just let this play out. Moving on, we get the letter of transit from Miss Bing, and then we have to just go into the parade. We're almost done already. Never mind. It's time to pass another security checkpoint and do Faraday's missions. And oh goody, it's the Simon Says one, when Ollie's the slowest character.
Take a flying fuck at the moon! Wait, I didn't say Simon Says. Simon Says, go drown yourself in the river! Back in your ma's fanny, you wank stain! Act Toon and Max Snell, you bloody charlatan! Wait and ball your head! You're the first wee dick that's ever made me long for the real Jack!
After a nice wholesome game of Simon Says, now we gotta do the worst fucking mission ever made. We have to water some plants, then go all the way back to the garden district to get some bees for the flowers, and I got the wrong fast travel earlier. So not only did I have to run all the way to a beehive from that one fast travel point that I did get, I had to also unlock the one that I was currently in to then fast travel over there. There's literally nothing good about this bee cannon. You have to suck them up for 20 seconds without being stung or hit, and then you get only one shot with it. And on top of that, you need to make a vest so you don't get stung by the bees, but I was thinking, maybe I could do it with just the maid outfit. It is possible, and it's just very annoying, especially when everyone else is trying to kill you while you're doing it. So I took some time to calm my nerves and get as much flash from this one vendor as I could. The more I attempted this, the more assholes that spawned, and it just got more and more and more annoying, and I thought maybe the bees would attack them, so I could just grab them, but they just kept on fucking going through the bees, and the bees kept on stinging me. After a lot more trial and error than I like to admit, I got a single charge in the bee cannon. It took about 6 minutes to run all the way back to Faraday's house, and I wanted to make sure that everyone was cleared from the area before I used the bee cannon because it is technically a weapon, and I thought maybe using it to pollinate the flowers was okay, but if it actually hit anybody, then I would fail the no weapons challenge. Part 2 of the reason why the bee cannon sucks ass. It takes about 10 seconds to actually fire a shot from the bee cannon so it could actually do anything. Now we just have to go through the Simon Says checkpoint again to be able to get to a club to go to the parade. Except I can't, because I don't have a key card, and for some reason they don't let you go through the back end of the Simon Says checkpoint. The best part about this is that the only other fast travel point other than the one that I'm in is the one that was next to the bees. So now I gotta run all the way back there because one door was locked. There was only one thing of note that happened while running all the way back from that fast travel point, and it was that this checkpoint broke and said I wasn't standing on the platform, and 2 bobbies came out to beat me to death even though I was doing what they were telling me to. A minute of nonsense and a guy running through the checkpoint with me solved this issue. 6 minutes later of non-stop running, I was able to make it to the club, and for no reason at all, I had to wait until I was out of combat to just climb up the ladder to grab one thing, then come back down. I didn't wait at all. Instead, I was so impatient, I threw a blue Molotov and burned all of them, not realizing what I have just done, even though I did it in Sally's playthrough. 2 of them broke downstairs, none of them died, and I had to deal with every single one of them in the party. Sometimes I wish I just wasn't this much of an idiot. Anyways, we grab the parade float, and then it's off to the parade. Now, the parade is horrifying in this playthrough because you are completely unarmed and everyone is a plague wastrel or a bobby with one of the strongest weapons in the game, so it's just best to run past them all. At this point, I was starting to get into my own head, thinking that I probably don't have enough stuff on me to fight the bobbies at the end and keep the generator rolling. And I was even having trouble with this area with how many bobbies are here and some of the blimps just shocking me constantly and keeping me from getting the part from the cannon. There is some good news though. Running around, dodging everything brought me to a couple of supply caches that I got a bunch of bangers and shock grenades. After distracting the blimps enough to get the cannon part, I was lucky enough to have a single caltrop on me so I can turn the wheel and charge up the cannon. I blasted my ass right into the office and snuck around the final area to turn off the headmistress. Oh boy, revealing the truth, I was so nervous at this point. Tried to talk some sense into the people that were running the company, but they slammed the door in my face. So now it's up to us to reveal to everybody why taking joy is bad. We get a brief cutscene telling us what Ollie did in his past, and now it's time to keep the backup generator rolling while the bobbies try to turn it off. These guys were tanks. Regular bangers wasn't doing as much damage as I was hoping it would. There wasn't even a minute left before I was almost out of bangers and I had to start punching them out. They even started throwing shock grenades at me and I had to resort to their methods. It even got worse. I completely forgot about Ollie's sugar levels and I had half HP and half stamina. I also panicked and ate a little bit too much. After shitting myself for 2 minutes, I've never been more relieved to see the message get out. Ollie says his final goodbyes to Margaret, and he perfectly emulated how I felt when I finally got this out of the way.
Fuck the law, you bastards! I'm going home!
And I beat Ollie's campaign in We Happy Few without any weapons, but sadly, I had to use clothing. Honestly, I'm still pretty happy about being able to complete Arthur's and Sally's. I mean, I was not expecting any of this to be possible, but 2 of them were. But anyways, that was the end of the series. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.